Hello, unlimited friends. It's Zara back again with another question. Our question today is from Anna, and it is about dating. So, Anna is saying, I've been casually dating a guy for a month and a half who has a kid and an ex partner. Things between them are really complicated, and he's always so stressed out and doesn't have a lot of time for me. So we usually see each other once a week. But I feel like squeezed like a lemon as the time we spend together is little. Plus, he doesn't call often just when we have to meet. So last week, he told me twice that he was going to call me, but he didn't. So I told him. He got a bit nervous and explained that with everything that is going on with his life, that is the time he has for me, and he's not ready for anything more than that right now. Things got a bit out of our hands, but we texted, and it looked like things were back on track in a way. At least, that is what I thought. Indeed, he became a bit distanced, and he said we were going to see each other this week, but he didn't make any plans. The thing is, I feel guilty because I told him about the call he didn't make, and I have this feeling that I ruined everything. I felt like I was rushing him, so I'm getting anxious right now, but I didn't do anything wrong. I just asked him why he didn't call. I feel like if someone is interested in you, he or she makes plans or at least an effort to see you. Did I make a mistake? Sorry about that, but I'm just tired of these complicated relationships. I do my work, but I feel like I'm always in the same situation. Anna, thank you so much. This is a really important question, and you are not the first person who has brought a question like this to me. So I really want to answer this in detail because there's a lot going on here that we need to clean up. Before I get into it, I'm just going to do a short introduction for those people who are new to my channel. Thank you for visiting. I'm ZMAHOON. I write the blog ZMAHOON.com. I'm also the author of 15 books on the subject of law of attraction. And on this channel, it is my intention to respond to questions from my subscriber base about how to apply the law of attraction in practical ways to our lives. All right, so let's get to the answer for Anna. Here's the thing, Anna. It's about a feeling of lack in the sense that you don't actually have to compromise. You don't have to compromise because everything that you want is possible. The exact type of relationship that you want is possible, and you don't need to compromise on anything. So what I want to ask you, however, is, are you compromising? Only you can answer that question. If you are going to say, no, Zara, I am not compromising in any manner, then we will handle this differently. And if you say, Zara, I am compromising, this is not the perfect situation for me, but there's enough here for me to say yes to this relationship. Which is it, Anna? Only you can answer. But what I'm going to do for you here is I'm going to paint two different pictures so that you can evaluate which one fits your situation. If you tell me that this is the absolute perfect person, he checks off all your boxes, you think that this is something that you've been waiting for, and you know in your gut feel that this is the person. And Anna, if you feel that way, then you should ignore everything else because it's just not important. These things that are happening in his life that are also affecting you, they're temporary. They're not going to be there all the time like that. But here's the thing, if you keep thinking that this is never going to change, he has a kid and he has an ex and They're always making demands on his time, and that factor is never going to change, and that factor is so big and hairy and you can't deal with it, then you should walk away. If you don't think that you can put up with it, then you should walk away, because the thing is, his child might be young just now. He's not always going to be, he or she is not always going to be that young. His life is going to change. But if you're not willing to walk that journey with him, then there's no reason for you to move forward. Only you can decide if this factor is important enough. Because the thing is, if you meet someone who absolutely is the one, and you know that that is true, then you should always hang on to that feeling that he is the one and ignore everything else. Ignore everything else, because everything else is changeable. It's temporary. And the power of your love, the consistency of your love, will bring about that change that you're looking for. The point is, are you willing to do so? Because when we are willing, we will do anything that it takes, when we know that the result is going to be the result that we want. So only you can answer the question, how sure are you of this man? Let me give you an example. When someone comes to me and says, Zara, if you want to win this job or this gift or this thing, all you have to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you do this, the result is guaranteed. And I really, really want that thing, I'll do those 5 things. I won't crib about it. I will say, I know the end result. The end result is that this is what I want. And it's right here. I can taste it. I can see it. I can feel it. I can sleep with it. So it's worth it for me to do those 5 things. So Anna, is it worth it to you to put up with this temporary phase that this person is going through? And I am going to emphasize the word temporary, because it is temporary unless you keep thinking about it. And if you keep thinking about it and seeing it as a problem, then it will perpetually be a problem. But if you don't see it as a problem, then it will not be a problem. It's like, I'll give you a little example. It's like my son, when he was very little, I think maybe 3 years old. On Christmas, I remember that he loved candy cane. But if, while taking that candy cane out of its wrapper, if the cane broke, he would not want it anymore. He would kick up a fuss and he would say he wanted another candy cane. He would not have that one. Even though, in my perspective, it was the same candy cane. It would taste the same. It's not going to taste any different. But his joy required the candy cane to be whole. And so he would refuse to accept that broken candy cane. And so you've got to ask yourself, how important is that broken candy cane? Me, on the other hand, I don't care about the fact that the candy cane is broken, because to me, the enjoyment of the candy cane is not affected by the fact that it is broken. So this is where different things appeal to different people. You only can decide whether or not you can accept this man, given his situation, and find a way to appreciate. So if he checks off all your boxes, then appreciate the fact that he is being honest with you. He's not hiding anything from you. He's being honest. This is his life just now. Take it or leave it. Now, that's one scenario. And along with that scenario, I'm going to point out to you the other side of the things. And the other side of the things is, this is not a man who checks all your boxes. And you are in this relationship because you want a relationship, not because you want this man. You see, when you want this man, then you will put up with anything that stands in the way of your getting this man. But if it's not about the man, if it's about having a relationship, because whatever your biological clock is ticking, or for whatever other reason, the relationship is more important. Having a relationship is more important than who you are having the relationship with. Then that is a completely different situation. Because in that situation, you're focused on the wrong goal. Because if you are not willing to accept the package exactly the way it is, then there will always be things that will get under your skin, and you will not be able to be completely happy. Only you can decide, because everyone is different, right? So for some people, you can enter the relationship because the relationship is more important than the person that you have the relationship with. And then things can change later on. It's all up to you. So you get to decide. But what I will say to you is that if you are already focused on finding fault and not feeling that you're getting what you think you deserve, then the problem is deeper than what you think it is, because the problem has to do with self-worth. You are, first of all, comparing. You are feeling that you're not getting what you should be getting. And if that is the case, my dear, take a step back and ask yourself, do you do that in everything? Is that a habit? Because if that is a habit, then you need to fix that habit before you look for a relationship. Because if you think that you're not getting what you deserve, then you're low on the emotional scale. If this was the emotional scale and up here is high and here is low, and you think you're not getting what you deserve, you're not high on the emotional scale. Because if you were high on the emotional scale, you would get a relationship that would be perfect in every way. And so that is why Abraham says the only work we ever need to do is to go up the emotional scale, because when we go up the emotional scale, only the best things come to us. And sometimes, what I want to add to that is, sometimes a really good thing comes to us and we spoil it by not appreciating it enough, and instead focusing on the things in it that we do not want or that are not satisfying to us. Only you can tell. So lastly, what I want to say to you is, if a simple thing, if you're going to walk on eggshells, do you see yourself walking on eggshells for the rest of your life because you don't want to ask the man who is by your side a question about something that he said he would do? Then what sort of a life are you looking at? Because that comes from a place of fear. I better not do something to upset this situation. So then you're walking on eggshells, and you'll always walk on eggshells because you'll be afraid of messing things up. And as Abraham says, you can't stand on your head in enough ways to be so perfect. Right? You've got to find a way to be who you are. And if things are not working exactly the way you want them to, then don't be afraid of walking away, because there is no lack in the universe. The universe is abundant, and there are so many relationships out there that are better than this one. And you can absolutely line up with a relationship that is perfect in every single way. Now, I want to take also, I want to comment on this comment that you made. You wrote, if someone is interested in you, he or she must make an effort to see you or call you. See, sweetheart, people express their caring and their love in different ways. And to evaluate how much a person cares for you or loves you based on the action that they take, that's the wrong criteria. And you will never be happy if you evaluate, especially your partner, your love interest, by that yardstick. Because love is a vibration. And as long as someone makes you feel loved, you feel cared for, then everything is just exactly perfect as it should be. If you're not feeling loved, that means that you are also in a place that is attracting exactly that. Because the universe and people will give you what you are attracting from them. So you've got to ask yourself, are you giving out love, unconditional love, or is your love conditional? And so don't evaluate people based on their action. Evaluate them based on their vibration. And then evaluate your own vibration. Are you being constant in your vibration of love? Because from what you have written, it feels to me that you are not constant in your vibration of love. And that is the first thing that needs to change. So, Anna, I hope that you found this useful and helpful, and that you are going to be able to change the way you're looking at this situation. The first thing for you to do is to ask yourself, is this the man? And if this is the man, then everything else is out the window. Stop evaluating his action. And if this is just a compromise, walk away from it as fast as you can. Do the vibrational, emotional work to first go up the emotional scale. Be stable in your ability to love. And then the perfect relationship for you will show up. All right, I hope that this is helpful to you as well as to other people visiting just now. Thank you everybody for being here. Anna, thank you for contributing the question. And I look forward to playing with all of you next time. If you have a question, you can email me through my website, ZMAHOON.com, or you can post a comment below and I will pick it up. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.